everyone, this is Master Max88, and welcome back to a Fortnight at Frenni Fazclaire's. We're going to be continuing the story today with night 13, which means we're getting super close to the end, so sit tight. We're almost there, almost at the end game, so we're making really fast progress here. I'm going to load my save, if I can open it. There we go. And pretty much the plot for night 13 seems that we're going to be going out on a date with Frenni, which is a very interesting proposition. And once again, of course, if you haven't seen my previous videos, definitely look them up. I have an entire playlist dedicated to a Fortnight at Frenni Fazclaire, so definitely look up my playlist if you haven't yet. But that said, let's just jump right into night 13. And the screen is actually positioned weirdly for me. Why is it? There we go. There we go. I just had to readjust it a little bit. But yeah, let's just see what's gonna happen here on our little date with Frenni. I would normally have 15 hours to do whatever I want since the club is closed until Monday. However, there's the matter of seeing Frenni around the strip, as Smith's asked. Even if Frenni is free, it would be very easy for Smith to check if I skip that part of his task list. I can imagine it'll be too challenging to play escort to Frenni. Though, before we begin, I stopped by the park to have a chat with Frenni. And, yes, if you haven't seen it before, Frenni does have a brand new look here. Looks absolutely incredible. I'm just taking a minute to appreciate this new look once again. Now that we're out of the club and away from Smith's eyes and ears, I gotta ask, are you sure the upgrade to this new body didn't change anything about your shackles? Fairly certain, yes, though there was one interesting thing I noted. Uh-oh. This could be trouble. When we were working with Chico and Bonfi earlier, I picked up on a new subroutine. The short version is that Mr. Smith has added an additional way for me to enforce any commands I give. It's not a controlled electric shock per se, more like a mental version of one. The shock is meant to temporarily assert the same command authority that a night guard or Mr. Smith has. The use of this mental jolt is logged but doesn't send an alert to Mr. Smith. That might be useful when dealing with Mary in the future. Anything else stand out? Anything at all? Well, my new batteries are able to hold triple the charge compared to my old body. Other than that, nothing else stands out. The upgrade was largely limited to aesthetic changes thanks to you freeing me. Well then, where should we start our tour? Let's knock out some shopping. Luckily, the places I have in mind shouldn't be too outlandish for you to be nearby while I shop. Thanks to some unexpected bills with my apartment, I'll have half as much of a paycheck to spend this week. Oh, god dang it. Where should I go shopping? Good place to save. Let's just save right here before we start doing this. Magic and other curiosity. Let's go right there. There's a store over on 18th Street, putting it firmly in the Little Korea district of the city. We've been there before in some of my previous videos. Soul binding materials? Let's buy that. Thanks to my research, I spot some of the components for binding a soul to a vessel. I purchased them thinking they'll come in handy should I figure out a way to completely free one of the girls. Chiku. Gotta get Chiku out of there. Oh, maybe I can give Smith a taste of his own medicine if it comes down to it. That'd also be interesting. And the Thunderstorm ritual components. I'm gonna get everything here. I'll get everything. I'll get everything. Alright, and then we'll come back later. The military surplus. Can I buy anything? I have 450 left. Nothing. Nothing at all. So, not much else to do but go home. So, let's go ahead and do that. I spend the rest of the day taking Frenni from place to place, both to sightsee and be seen. Frenni even does a few impromptu performances at major buskin spots to spread the word of the club, or like busy spots, I suppose. Surprisingly, we only get a handful of odd looks and questions about whether Frenni is cosplaying or an actual animatronic. Yeah, like, how would people react to that? To see, like, an actual, in real life, Frenni or Bonfi or Chica or Fexa. They might assume it's just a cosplay with, you know, how far we've come with cosplays nowadays. They probably would assume it's just that. Guess it just goes to show that this city is well known for its weirdness. We return to my apartment far after the sun has gone down. I text Zero ahead of time, so she knew Frenni and I are coming. Zero's plushie is on my bed when I open the door, so I know she's nearby in if things go south. This is a bit of a tight squeeze, isn't it? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's not so bad. My roommate hardly takes up any space whatsoever. Ah. Talking about the apartment. Okay. Okay. Do you mean you have a pet of some kind? No, I have an incredible roommate. And wouldn't dare insult my roommate by calling it a pet. It'll be easier if I show you. Come on out, Zero. Hello, Frenni. I'm Zero. You're, a ghost of some kind? The ghost of the first woman Smith tried to force into an animatronic. Yes. I see. Perhaps you should start at the beginning, Mr. Black, so we're all on the same page. I take the time to explain everything to Frenni. Frenni listens intently, asking a few clarifying questions here and there. It's well into the night by the time I wrap up the story. And that's everything I know up until we left the club earlier today. Quite the tale, Mr. Black. If it were anyone else telling me all that, I might think it was a fanciful bit of fiction. Yet, I cannot ignore the evidence literally standing and floating in front of me. It's a good thing I can falsify my logs. Mr. Smith had me follow you today because he suspected something like this was going on. Figures. Smith always was too paranoid for his own good. Speaking of which, I should probably get going back to the club so Mr. Smith doesn't suspect anything further. It was lovely to have met you, Zero. Let us hope we meet again in more favorable circumstances. Now that's over with. Let me fix you a meal, Josh. Oh my god! MVP, right? Once again. I'm gonna have a playthrough where I just entirely focus on Zero. She deserves that. She deserves that. Zero treats me to a wonderful meal of bacon and eggs. It's never too late for breakfast. By the time I finish my meal, I am dead tired. If I was to attempt to summon a thunderstorm earlier than November 1st, I have to do it before I go to sleep. The ritual takes 24 hours to kick in, assuming it works, of course. The one thing that gives me a reasonable chance at success is the ectoplasm from Zero. It's not a guarantee the ritual will work, though. Even if the ritual fails, I should still commit to making my break-in attempt as if it had. That way Zero knows when to make an appearance at the club to help me out. Should I attempt to summon a thunderstorm? Absolutely! Absolutely, do it. Go right ahead. One way or another, things will end on my 13th night at Frenni Fazclaire's. The weather ritual isn't especially difficult, just time-consuming. I check the weather once the ritual is complete and see that a new supercell is forming in the west. My god. We control the weather now. The storm is particularly charged and focused, producing more lightning strikes, high winds, and other chances to knock out the power. Despite the storm's sudden appearance, the meteorologists are acting like it's normal for this time of year. They're calling for a severe thunderstorm watch in the local area, meaning the storm will arrive right on time on the 31st, which is October 31st, right on time for Halloween. Lovely, lovely. I can hear the wind picking up outside as rain begins to dash against my window. The rumble of thunder and flashes of distant lightning confirms that the weather control ritual worked. That will make things easier once I get to the club. Zero helps me run through the checklists as I strap up. Gun. Body armor? Anti-warding paper? Lock-picking kit? A kiss for good luck? Yeah. Check my pockets one final time. The kiss is all I'm missing. Zero floats closer and gives me a light peck on the cheek. I'll be standing by to manifest once you deal with Mary in the wards. Good. You know what to do if I don't come back, right? Yes. Go hunt the next night guard. And or a priest until they confront Smith. We thought about everything. Everything was carefully planned. Yep. Well, this is it. It's go time. Night 13. October 31st. Smith's left another note on the reception desk for the evening. Simple job for you tonight, kid. Make sure the girls complete their recharge sequences and are not running around willy-nilly. Remember, they're just machines. Assert your authority, and they should listen. Of course, that's not true. They're not just machines. And just know that if the power goes out for an extended period, I will be checking the logs. Ciao. I have some strong opinions and words I'd like to say to Smith regarding that note, but that will have to wait. Again! It's not the first time the main character says that. This exact quote right there. For now, I have to wait and pray for that power outage. My biggest concern is Chiku and her safety and well-being and getting her out of that nightclub. We just need to get her out. With all of that in mind, I take one last stock of my situation in the security room. I just have to wait for the power to go out to make my move. 1 hour passes, then another. By the 3rd hour, I'm starting to worry that the power might not go out. The lights have flickered a few times, but they haven't gone out completely. It's right around the usual camera loop time that the entire building shakes from a near-direct lightning strike. The power instantly cuts out, and I dive into the vents. Moments later, I hear the girls knocking at my security door room. Mr. Black, you in there? Time to come out and play, hot stuff. Cuddles. Let me fix you a drink straight from the tap. No. We don't want to mess around Mary. She's the most dangerous of the bunch. Bunfy doesn't say anything. Strange. The girls keep calling out for me for 5 minutes before Frenni opens the door herself. I hear them piling into the security room and searching for me. Looks like I'm the highest authority until we find Mr. Black. Let's go check the storage room and a few other places. Maybe they are there. So right now what Freddy's doing is the plan we talked about in one of the previous nights to lock Mary in the freezer room. Because once again, Mary is the only one that hasn't been freed. So she is still under the control of Mr. Smith. And she's a huge threat. So we need to get her out the way. I hear the girls leaving the security room. Once I think it's safe, I crawl through the vents towards Smith's office. Next thing you know, Chiku was just waiting for us, for some cuddles. Once in position, I wait 10 minutes pass before I get a text from Frenni, excuse me. Mary has been entombed within the freezer. Well, that worked out pretty good. The rest of us will remain here on standby to ensure they don't break out. Wonderful. Let's hope our luck holds out. As I run up to Smith's office door, I see that it's secured by that iron turtle lock I found a vulnerability for. Since there's no power, I don't have to worry about the lock's Wi-Fi connection alerting Smith when I try to rake in the lock. I take out my lock-picking kit and set to work. It takes me a few minutes to pick the lock, during which I'm sweating bullets. Once the door is open, I quickly step inside. Oh god, we're finally inside the office of Agent Smith. We got some wonderful posters. Great stuff, great stuff. I'm not sure what I was expecting to see inside the office. There's an opulent wooden desk with a high-backed leather chair as the centerpiece. Also, the music is wonderful here. That's a banger. Then there's a number of plush, purple couches, zebra striped carpets, giant beanbag chairs, and double minibars. Lucky bastard. On the walls are pit-up posters of the girls and other bits of advertising for the club. A quick check behind the posters confirms that there's recently established wards on the walls. I'm able to subvert and destroy those wards so Zero can at least join me in the office if need be. Once again, we're very good when it comes to the paranormal, so not a problem. Aside from that, there's just a laptop on the desk along with a landline phone. There's no immediate sign of a way to get into the server room. The entrance has to be here somewhere though, but where? Is there a trapdoor? Is there a secret switch? I turned my attention to Smith's desk in the hopes of finding clues there. Luckily, this isn't the kind of desk that locks, so I can rummage through the drawers with ease. Between all the bits of paperwork, office supplies, booze, and even a few plushies resembling the girls, there's a keypad in about the right drawer. I have no idea what the code is, nor what will happen if I try putting some sort of code in there. The keypad does appear to have power, though, confirming that the office and server room might be on a different power grid than the rest of the club. Time to call in Zero. Zero to the rescue. I text her the code phrase, and moments later she pulls herself out of my phone in classic ghost fashion. It's even more tacky than I remember it. I don't suppose you know the code to this keypad, which I'm guessing leads to the server room. No, but I could possess it and find out. Her eyes flick to where the plushies are. Also, you'll want to keep those safe. Give me the Chica one. Should something happen to the bodies of Frenni, Fazclaire, Chica, or Bonfi, those plushies are Smith's way of keeping their souls around. Okay. Mary's anchor is her entire animatronic body. Where is she, by the way? She got cold feet. She got cold feet. Yeah. She gets it. Can you do your ghost hacking thing while I go hide these plushies somewhere safe? Of course. I smile, grab the plushies, then sprint out of the office to stash them behind one of the vent grates in the hallway. When I return to the office, I don't see Zero, but I do hear the sound of beeping coming from the keypad. Moments later, there's a loud click, followed by a part of the wall to the right of Smith's desk sliding open to reveal a spiral staircase down. This is as far as I can go at the moment. Be careful in there. Right. Onwards I go. Okay, we're legit gonna go in the Matrix. I knew this was inevitable. I knew this was gonna happen at one point or another. Agent Smith is definitely involved with the Matrix here. It was inevitable. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up as I reach the bottom of the stairs. The sensation isn't as sinister or oppressive as when Mary's nearby, but it's still not a fun feeling. Looking up, I notice the ceiling is covered in glyphs. They must be the source of this feeling and what's keeping Zero out. I definitely don't have a way to get rid of all those. It's only a matter of time before the power comes back, or the battery backups run out. I have to be quick with my server access. Getting access to the server is as simple as using a terminal built into one of the server racks. The problem is there's no handy sticky notes with passwords written down. All I can really do is pull the plug on the servers and hope that prevents Smith from remotely reshackling the girls that are free until I deal with him personally. I'm about to rush back upstairs when I hear shouting! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe Mary broke out of the freezer? There's sound of someone hurrying down the stairs. I dive for cover behind the nearest server rack and watch as Mr. Smith rushes into the server room. Oh shit! No, it's actually Agent Smith himself! He doesn't appear to be carrying any weapons aside from his phone. We do have a weapon, so we can get the jump on him. Oh my god, look at this guy! Look at this guy!